Hello folks, and welcome to the tutorial scenario for Resident Evil, the board game. So I have everything set up per the instructions. I will be doing a 2-player run-through. I have here Rebecca Chambers and Barry Burton. Rebecca's here, so I'm gonna go, this is Rebecca and this is Barry. Maybe I can move this slightly closer just to have the better distinction. So if that works, we will continue on. So looking at our characters, we have Rebecca Chambers, who is able to roll 2 evade dice when she gets attacked. She's able to hold 6 items, which won't be an issue during this scenario because during this scenario, despite what it says here, because of it's the tutorial, we instead start with a handgun and knife. No matter how many characters you have, no matter who they are, for the tutorial scenario, each character has 1 handgun, 1 knife, and that's it. That's what they all start with across the board. And 4 kerosene tokens. So that won't come into play during this scenario, but I wanted to just have it visualized there, that they do have them, they do come with them. So once per turn, Rebecca can use a medical item. Where's my without spending an action. So we can see our green herb, for example, is a medical item. So normally, someone's low on their health and you say, oh, I will use an action. You get 4 actions. I will use one of my actions to use the item to heal you. Because it's Rebecca, you don't have to do that for the medical items specifically. And when she uses a medical item, heal the character an additional level. So that's sweet. So this one says heal it by 1, but if someone was down 2, heal by 1. And oh, look at that. She's such an expert, you can heal it by another 1. Thank you very much. So our handguns are at 15 for both characters, and they work almost identical. Well, not identically, but they work the same in terms of rolling the dice. You're either going to push, hit for 1, or miss. And you can see we have like a hailstorm here. So this allows us to roll an extra 1 or 2 dice just to help increase the odds that you would hit. But that also means you're using another 1 or 2 bullets. So when you start with 15, if you roll 3, you're at 12 now. So that's that. So let's look at Barry. So he would normally start with a knife and a gun and handgun ammunition, but it's the tutorial, so handgun and knife. He rolls only 1 die to see if he's going to evade. Everyone else doubles their odds. Barry, not so much. So he is able to hold 6 items and 2 kerosenes. So kerosene, if you had a lighter, Chris, for example, one of these items is a lighter. If you had a corpse on the board, which won't happen in this tutorial, when you take a zombie out in the tutorial, it's just gone. Normally, if you take a zombie out, you would replace it with a corpse token. Once the corpse token is placed down, you can burn it with a lighter using a kerosene token. And perhaps there's a very fun gun that you can end up using that uses kerosene tokens as its ammunition. So his special abilities, get away from, wow, I said that weird, get away from me. If Barry is attacked and fails his evade roll, Barry can push each enemy in his square. So if he's on a square, normally if there's a couple enemies on the square, you're only going after the one who attacked you specifically. Barry, however, can push every enemy if there's more than one on his square. Accurate when making an attack with the handgun specifically, Barry treats the large evade result as a hit result instead. And I say hit result because when we look at our symbols here, when you roll that, it is a hit for a single damage. And if we roll that on our die, that is a push. And that's only when we're attacking. If it rolls evade while we're attacking, it's a miss. Just like when we're evading, if it rolls an attack, that's a miss or evade. So, okay. So that goes back there, and I think we're okay to begin. Let's look at our zombies first. So we have our zombies. This is the threat value. So the zombies are the lowest. They're at a 1. Everything else, and it goes in order. There is a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6. Is there a 7? There's 6 for sure anyways. So the zombie would be the final one to do an action. They can move 1 space, and for movements, whether they're a character or an enemy, you can move orthogonally, that's up, down, left, right, or diagonally, the other directions. You cannot go through walls like I just did. I was just showing what orthogonal versus diagonal. So he has the ability, if available, to go through, or sorry, to go to a square like that. So that would be a 1. That's a 1, that's a 1. And we can see that this red outline, that's a wall. You cannot go through that. So basically each tile is completely walled. The only way to go between tiles is to open a door. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doors here, and 6 doors that are closed. When you're putting a door on the board, when you're setting up, they are always closed. You must always spend an action to open that door. Otherwise, later on in the game, you're using archways sometimes. Those are just always open all the time. You can just, basically it's just one big room, and that's how you get through it. So speaking of, so normally what I do is I record the how to play, and in this case I would then move on to the tutorial, then onto the campaign. That's not what I did this turn, and I won't be doing that again. I did the tutorial first and figured, okay, that'll be fine, and then went to the campaign, and oh wow, did I have to keep learning and learning and learning new things and new things and new things. So if you were to continue watching this and move on to the campaign, you will see things done incorrectly, sometimes wildly incorrectly, just because of my lack of understanding. I won't be doing that in the future. So normally I stick to make the rules video first. If there's a tutorial, do it. I tend to not play campaign games. That looks like that's changing for the video game board gamer. Yeah, so I play the game, and when things come up during the game, I go back to the rules video just to make sure that that is updated and corrected before saving and posting. So instead, I came into making the rules video with all these mistakes I had learned from. So my campaign is not a how to play. It's just literally my campaign. This, however, is coming after everything. This is the second to last thing I'm shooting. So the campaign is done. It's shot. It's done. I filmed the rules video. It's not edited, but it's been shot. So this should be a pretty good example of what it feels like to play Resident Evil. So let's get to it. I have 4 actions I can take. I can move. I can open and close a door when I'm by it, mind you. I can search. Search is when you're on, the same square as an item. You use an action, and you take that off the board, and then you take a card. You can trade. That's when you're beside or on the same square as another character. You cannot trade at that point. Now you can trade. That's trading items. So if you have some items later on, like this is just a tutorial, but later on you're going to get several items, and maybe it's advantageous for player A to have this. Maybe player B wants that. Whatever that is, that's fine. Use item. So that would be green herb, for example. Your health is down a bit. You have this in your reserve. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to use this. Just put it in the discard, and now I can increase my health by 1. So that's your use item. And of course, you can attack. So the zombies aren't there just to irritate you. You can fight them. That's not always the thing you should be doing in terms of how successful you might be. Sometimes it is better to run. I guess you find out when you get there. So what I will do is move 1, 2. Okay, so that's 2. For my third action, I am gonna open the door. Now, what do I want to do? Okay, so now that I'm beside this zombie, I can use my knife. I need to be at least within 1 square, so that is indeed 1 square. I can be on the same square, but I need to be at least within 1 square to use the knife, to roll a single die. On the other hand, I can use, the dice I use, I can increase it by 3, increase it by 2 so that I use 3. So I'm just gonna see what happens if I do indeed go from 15 bullets to 14, 13, 12. So now we are at 12. Oh, this isn't a really good area to be rolling. Well, maybe I'll just go with it. Oh, why can't I roll like that? Spoilers during the campaign. Okay, so, well, I do sometimes. Let's be honest. I definitely do sometimes. Not with the handgun, though. Moving on. So, a zombie has 1 health. And during the tutorial, you hit it once, it blows it away, and you do not put a corpse. Normally, during gameplay, you would then put a corpse if it hit once. However, this hit twice, and there's a special rule as to what happens when you hit twice. No, there is not. Actually, disregard what I said, and also this is upside down. Because what I was going to say was incorrect. However, it is correct for Chris. If Chris inflicted 2 or more damage, so if this was Chris's roll, it gains decapitation. What that means is you may disregard the tough hide rule. So you would not put a zombie on there if you shot a zombie worth more than 1 and then push. But we don't have to worry about any of that. So that was my 4. So now any enemies on the same tile as me or linked, and this door is open, so this is linked, they would attack me. We can see that the 2 tiles that I'm on that are linked, if there was an open door here, this would then be linked. But this is how it is right now. So let's look at our first tension card. Okay, it is all clear. Now we're going to have Berry go. That sounds like some kind of breakfast cereal. Berry go. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm on the same tile as this zombie, but I'm going to see what I'm going to do for this item. So 4 moves on to the item. However, I need to use an action to pick it up. So 1, 2, 3, 4 means I don't pick it up this round. So now all that happens is this zombie now hears me or whatever and comes towards me 1 space. So if a zombie is able to attack me, he will attack. And that's what he will do. If a zombie is unable to attack, he moves down to, okay, if I can't attack you, then the next thing I'm going to do is move instead. And then not on or not linked to that tile, we can see are completely ignored. Yeah, so now Barry's tension card says cornered. Locate the tile closest to the active character where there are enemies, but no characters. So I'm going to go with, this would be this one then. Remove the enemy on the tile with the highest threat level and place them on this character's tile on the closest. This is the spawn point. So, okay, I will take one of these and put it there then. And this reminds me that this has a very specific setup. So there's 15 of the all clear cards and then 3 specifically named cards that are not all clear, cornered being one of them. So through this deck, we will see 2 more. Now Rebecca's going to go. So we have an item here. Might as well pick it up. Let's see how that goes. 1, because you can't cross. There's no line of sight here because this wall is blocking from this center of the square to this center of the square. So you must go this way for 1, 2, 3, and then I will pick it up for 4. So the first item that Rebecca gets is a green herb. Okay, sweet. So she can do the healing thing without using an item. Slightly off. That's okay. So that's 4. No enemies on her tile or a linked. This is the only open door. So linked, no enemies. I'm now going to draw a tension card. All clear. Pressing on. Now, Barry is going to pick this up for 1 and see what he gets. Also green herb. Okay, so spoilers. There's 2 handgun ammo in there. There's 2 herbs and 2 handgun ammo. We got the herbs to start off with, so okay, so that for sure will be the ammo. So that was for 1. Now, you know what? I do want to see. I do want to see. So I could shoot for 1, roll 1, and just take whatever it says. I really enjoy the shooting all 3 at once, but your ammo does go down much faster. I still like it though. Also, I'm playing as Barry. That worked for you. Okay. Standard mess ups, but it's fixed. So, okay, so 12 and 12 for both. So Barry's gonna roll, and oh, 1 actually hits. Wow. Okay, I accept that. Okay, so 1 hit. So handgun hit for 1. Okay, cool. So when you attack, when it's your turn, you attack, and whether it's successful or not, when it comes to the other enemies on the tile you're on or linked, they do a movement. And of course, zombies move 1. So because he heard me shooting, he's now moving. So that was my 2 actions. Not 2 actions, but that was 2 actions out of my 4. What do I want? Do I want to try again? Oh man. Oh man. Because 3, 4. You know what? Let's show what happens. So 3, 4. Okay. So now the zombie is on the same square as me. So he's not going to move. He's on the same square. He is in with range. He is within range to attack. 0 range. You have to be on the same square. Not 1 away, on the same square. Okay, so being on the same square, Barry rolls 1 evade die while the zombie is attacking. And it's a small base, so I should say it's a small base, so any of the 3 evades, a weak one, a medium one, and a strong one, will work. So I just need to roll this at minimum. This for a medium base, which include like that's your larger half a square base rather than a quarter of a square base, or even if there was 2 on that square, that also counts as a medium base. But anyway, so that's what Barry is dealing with right now. So let's just roll it. That does nothing. That is not an evade. So Barry must take a hit. So now he's been hit. When you get hit, you can push. So Barry's special thing is he can't, or he's not going to push just the one enemy that hit him. He can push everyone else. There is no everyone else, but so that's fine. But if there was more, normally the more would still be here. In this case, well, the one is gone. In this case, he would be able to push them all because he's Barry Burton. That was the reaction phase. So now we move on to the tension phase. All clear. Rebecca is going to go 1, 2. This door is open, but middle of the square. You don't have line of sight. So I'm going to do 3. So I'm going to do 4. I'm going to see if this even is conserving ammo in the first place. So that was 4. So that means it's Zombie's turn. And right now, this is the only one coming. So still 1 away. And now we do tension. All clear. Barry's turn. He's just going to run. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. And you're the only one who's going to react. This door is closed, so that one's doing nothing. And all clear. Now, on to Rebecca. So I want to get that A item. I'm going to do 1, 2. Let's just do this. 3, 4. Not going to pick it up. But rarg. Okay, on the tile and the one connected. Or the ones connected if there was more than one, or this one had an open door. Tension says, all clear. Oh, okay, so this has a special symbol on it. However, this special symbol is not this special symbol. So this is not in, sorry, this one is not in effect right now. And no, okay, I have not messed that up. Good for me. Barry is going to go 1. Oh, there's a zombie over there. What do I do? Let's try shooting at it. 1, 2, 3. Because it doesn't matter how far away I am, as long as my gun has line of sight, which in this case it does. There's nothing blocking it. This is an open door. I can shoot at it. So I will take the 3 dice like I just did, and ooh, push, push, hit. If I wanted to, I suppose I could go push, push, bow, but that actually works. Oh no. It's crazy how good I'm rolling. These things happen sometimes. Okay, so that, oh, you heard that, did ya? So that was my second action. Let's see what I can do with a third action. Okay. Evade, evade, so nothing, nothing while attacking. Nothing, nothing, and push. Huh! And I guess that'll do for me. 4. So as for reaction, this one, of course, is going to move 1. However, this is a linked tile. However, this one is on the same square as a character already. Being on the same square, not the tile, same square as a character already means he's already invested in this character. So he's good. He's going to stay right there. So we are going to all clear. Okay, so now Rebecca wants to pick this up. So she can try attacking this guy first, see what happens, or she can try picking this up while this guy is here. While doing an action that isn't an attack, he's going to try to attack her. So she needs to evade to see if it works that she gets the item. So Rebecca has 2, or is able to roll 2 of the blue dice. So it is unsuccessful. She does not pick it up. And of course, he was already trying to attack her while she was doing something. So she's trying to evade that attack that's already happening. She failed. So she gets bitten. But because she was attacked, she may push the one who attacked her. Okay. So now that was 1. So 2 is pick up. And of course, handgun bullets. It increases the character's handgun ammunition dial by 8 points. So, I guess I'll just, that'll do. That'll do. So that was 2, 3, 4. Now, we got this guy who's too far away going 1. And we got this guy who's too far away going 1. And now Tension Deck says, Fevered Assault. During the next player's turn, who will be Barry now, increase enemy movements by 1. And now we're not playing with the tension dial during the tutorial, so this is completely ignored altogether. Don't worry about this. Okay, so increase enemy movement by 1. So what's Barry going to do now that it's his turn? Well, first he's going to close this door. This guy ain't moving anymore. It is no longer linked. We're going to open this up for 2, and we see a zombie. I'm going to try to attempt to shoot that zombie. So the dial is now down to 3. I will roll these, and everything misses entirely. Now, the enemy movement has been increased by 1. So anytime I shoot, or anytime I attack, anything that the attack did not hit, including the intended target, now moves. So he moves by 1, but that movement is now increased by 1, including this one, but he is now in the same square as a character, so he is now distracted. And I think I indeed will use up what I have in an attempt to finally take care of this zombie. So I'm going to do this. Push him anyway, so I'm just positioning myself to push him anyway. And, oh, it indeed hits. So he is done. That was 4, nothing, nothing, occupied, not linked. Okay. We now have the symbol that allows zombies to attack from 1 square away. Once the zombie attacks from 1 square away, they then move into the square. That's what this symbol is. So that is in play now. Rebecca, what do you want to do? Do you want to just see if you can get away? Do you want to blow him away? I mean, the exit's right there, and you have 12 bullets. You might as well see if you can just blow the guy away, if you want to call a monster a guy. Okay. It worked. Not all of you are going to have this kind of luck. It worked. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4. No enemies to deal with, so we are just going to say all clear. So it's Barry's turn. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and you have to use an action. So if this was 4, he's stuck there until the next time he's able to play. But because he's at 3, we now go 4. And he's done. All clear. And now he's done. Or whatever. And of course, Rebecca, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've done it. Thank you very much for joining me as I go through this tutorial scenario for Resident Evil. As a reminder, I did my campaign before making the rules video, so if you do end up watching that, you're going to watch embarrassing rules mistakes. Wildly embarrassing rules mistakes. But I still really enjoyed playing it, So perhaps you'll enjoy watching it, mistakes and all. Thank you very much. Have fun.